Good morning, Vipers. I'm Jade Gonzalez.
And I'm Jeremy Martinez.
Coming up next, we'll tell you about why juniors are getting ready to pay big bucks.
And we'll have the 411 on everything homecoming.
We'll have these stories and much more right after this. Only a few weeks into the new school year, and students are already experiencing some of the changes caused by budget cuts. As WVHS News reporter Kelsey Riveron explains, students are having to deal with electives jammed with 40-plus students or classes that don't have enough materials to go around. Here's her report.
When students walked through the doors of Felix Varela High School this year, for some it was an unpleasant surprise to find their favorite teacher no longer there. Little do they know, the administration had to make tough decisions because of budget cuts. Thousands of students have not finished getting their credits and are facing problems because of night school being removed. Governor Rick Scott proposed another $3.3 billion cut to public schools statewide. Because of this, many teachers and support staff have been surplused.
I only have an Italian 2 class, which is the remaining class from the Italian program.
Last year, this room was filled with 40-plus students taking journalism, and now in its place is an intensive reading class, because journalism is only offered after school as a club.
There was many of us involved in the newspaper, and it's very unfortunate that they had to cut it.
Students are no longer able to go to the media center before school because they are understaffed. The school is supposed to be receiving funds in October that will allow us to purchase better computers. Especially now in this technology-filled era, lacking those essentials sets back students.
These cutbacks are not just making it harder for the teachers to teach, they're making it harder for the kids to learn.
Students are being affected by the reduction of funds in which the administration has no control over, but in the end we will all have to deal with this. This is Kelsey Riveron reporting for WVHS News.
The Bloodmobile will be making its way to Varela this Tuesday, and Vipers who are 17 years old or older are being asked to donate blood. In order to do so, you will need a signed parent permission form. If you are unable to donate this time around, the South Florida Blood Bank will be returning in November.
Juniors are getting one step closer to seniority as they are making big changes for their class ring. Herf Jones will be back on campus Tuesday, September 24th for those that need to make ring payments.
Vipers will be able to exercise their right to vote on September 25th. By doing so, they can elect officers for the class of 2017 and choose the princesses for the homecoming court. The election will be taking place in the media center during both lunch waves. A school picture ID is necessary to cast a vote.
There will be a mandatory meeting for all senior parents on September 24th. If your parents do not attend, you cannot go to Grad Bash, unless you bring in a letter stating why they could not make the meeting. This letter is due to the activities office by October 1st with your name and ID on it. So if you are planning on going to Grad Bash and other senior activities, make sure your parents are here on the 24th.
The annual open house got underway with over 1,000 parents showing up to meet and greet our faculty and staff. Parents were not only able to sit with our teachers for a few minutes, but they were able to step foot in their child's shoes and experience their daily routines. A dozen parents walked around aimlessly, getting a feel for what the first day of school as a Viper is like.
Underclassmen got the chance to smile pretty for the cameras for their annual picture day. If you didn't get a chance to pose, don't worry. Pictures will be taken again today during your English class. There's a year-long celebration taking place in South Florida, and it all has to do with student expression. Here's WVHS News reporter Toby Pang-Lin with the story.
This year marks the celebration of 100 years of student expression, with Miami High producing the first yearbook to hit the 305 in 1913. While the core of journalism remains the same, technology has definitely evolved. Film strips have become SD cards, the memories of 1 year alive with color, and newspapers going digital.
I remember when I first started doing yearbook that I would have to send in my deadlines, and then I would have to wait for it to come in. Technology has helped me tremendously because all I have to do right now is submit it online and it's done. I can go anywhere and work on the book. I could do it from home, I could do it from school. So technology has definitely made my life easier.
Along with new technology came social media websites helping student journalists express themselves. Today's news is received instantly through programs like Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. These networks have fostered two-way conversations between the press and the public.
Social media is a great way to receive live updates. People post pictures and everything, and we see everything of what's going on in the world.
It hasn't always been this easy. Students have worked hard to earn the right to expression. Thanks to Supreme Court cases Tinker versus Des Moines in the late 1960s and Hazelwood versus Kohlmeyer from the 80s, scholastic journalists are protected by the First Amendment.
The Supreme Court ultimately ruled that wearing the black armbands was a form of symbolic speech and was protected as a form of expression under the First Amendment.
Scholastic journalism has come a long way with students seeking and reporting the truth. Young journalists from South Florida will commemorate 100 years of student expression in upcoming celebrations. Reporting for WVHS News, I'm Toby Panglin.
And now it's time to toss it over to sports with Emily Aldana.
The Viper football team clobbered the Coral Park Rams when they faced off at Tropical Park. The Vipers scored over 40 points, leaving the Rams in shock. Up next, our Viper team will be facing off against the Sunset Knights at Tropical Park. Good luck to our team. The Lady Viper volleyball team defeated the South State Buccaneers in 3 matches. Standout players include Maria Stupinan, Becky Garcia, and Claudia Campero. Congrats to the entire team for their win. The swimming team dove into action this week, facing off against several schools. Both the ladies and the men's team came out victorious, winning most of their meets. Turning now to Viper sports announcements, there will be free physicals taking place on September 23rd, starting at 5:30 p.m. See a coach for details or stop by the athletics office, that's room 34, for more details. All girls interested in softball, there will be an important meeting today at 2:30 right after school with Coach Fraga in room 341. Those boys interested in trying out for the basketball team need to attend a meeting this Thursday immediately after school in the gym. Physical forms need to be brought to the meeting. Those still needing the physical forms can get them in the athletics office. That wraps it up from here in sports. Now it's time for this week's activities calendar.
Today, have a Viper Day, everyone.
See you next time.
And don't forget to turn us on.